Ignite the spark within oneself to light the path of holistic health.
Hello and welcome to the Holy Health Podcast. I'm your host, Mitch. Thanks for joining us today. As always, I am joined here with the lovely, dashingly beautiful, task-stacking queen, doer of all things, my wife, Amanda. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Me too.
As always.
Yes. I was thinking about you.
That's slightly concerning or really nice. Who knows? Somebody's like, I was thinking about you. You're like, oh God. Or you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Could go either way.
No, I think it was good. I was listening to a podcast and I was talking to you about it, but the podcast was about something that I wasn't really thinking about for a while. Something that has been out of my radar for quite some time, which was spirituality and the concepts of consciousness. And this podcast was talking about pretty much psychics and how it's an ability that we have. Some people have the talent, other people don't. And this guy was saying if you're talented, it's easy for you. If you're not talented, if you don't have the certain traits, he's been able to identify a lot of these things. So I was thinking about you during this podcast that I was listening to. And I talked to you about it earlier, but I think that's kind of how you are. You have like these supernatural capabilities,
I can fly, teleports.
But you have to live in this world. You have to be focused on material things, and it seems crazy to say, but I think that's at the root of a lot of your problems. But if you could just focus on doing whatever you wanted, I mean, you could say that about anybody, right? Mm-hmm. But for you specifically, like in this context, if you could focus on practicing this intuition and these things and not have to worry about, how am I going to make money? How am I going to do this? Well, this has to happen. So you're like playing these two, you have your feet in two different worlds. Mm-hmm. And the Bible talks about that a little bit, but like for you, I think it's definitely an issue for you.
For sure.
But, what do you do with the information now?
Yeah, I mean, you can know it, but like, depending on where you're at in life, it doesn't really matter if you know it or not.
Yeah, because you can't just like sit around and meditate and pretend, but yeah, it was just a really interesting subject. I haven't thought about it for a while, and I thought about you during the whole thing, and just, yeah, like the vastness of that subject, and then thinking about it in a modern, like through the modern consciousness, and it's almost like even in that way, it's a totally different world. Like when your normal average Joe looks at it, it's like a different world to them. But it is
intuition and stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's totally different world, and then if you are that type of person, you're living in that. Like that is your world. So it's like real. It's a challenge.
I mean, you have to. I don't want to say you have to, but you're more likely to have to or find yourself in circumstances where you are overriding your intuition if you're like not living in a fully aligned way.
Yeah, like the
Like for
modern
me, I'm
world
like,
is
I know this, but it doesn't matter because I have to do this and I have to make this happen. And how are we going to do that?
right. Yeah, you have.
So then it's like, well, I know this, but it doesn't matter if I know this or not because these things require immediate attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was thinking about that and just kind of thinking about wishing that you could be more in your flow, I guess.
I would be happier. You would be happier.
Yeah,
We would all be happier.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was I haven't finished it yet, but it was a good conversation so far and
So
kind of has me thinking about things again.
what is the podcast?
Well, it's Joe Rogan. He had some guy on, Dean Radin or something is his name.
Yeah. So you're it has been brought back up the kind of intuitive spiritual world for you.
Yeah, just thinking about the different concepts and principles, reality, all that type of stuff. I was really into that for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of left it alone for a while and got back into the material world of that stuff doesn't matter type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. Which they did talk about that in the podcast, where most spiritual practices like yoga, Christianity, Catholicism, all these big overarching like uh spiritual uh teachings, they basically tell you to not think about that stuff and to not focus on it because it's not useful, or that there's too much power in it and you don't know what to do. You don't
Intuition and stuff.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. Like to think about like to try to achieve levitation or something like that. Or, performing magics in different ways. That's something that's like not focused on or sought after because you're influenced to not do it because it's a waste of time, or you don't know what you're doing, it's too powerful, you're going to hurt yourself or whatever, stuff like that. So there's always like this big warning label on it to not do it. The Bible talks about don't do it, it's a sin or whatever. They advise against it, like you can't practice these things and also practice Christianity.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. I think there is things that you shouldn't practice as a Christian,
Like what?
like putting your faith in other things. Like if I have faith in this salt lamp here, that this salt lamp it's gonna do something for me that I can't do myself, or that I'm seeking outside of the physical world. Like there's some spiritual thing entangled in this salt lamp that's going to help my life. I'm putting faith in this salt lamp. Like that's not good. If I'm a Christian, I should not do that.
You shouldn't put your faith in worldly things.
Yeah, for my spiritual life.
I know there's a lot of conversations in the in the Christian space about homeopathy and if it's like okay or not. And there are like homeopaths that are like, I'm a Christian homeopath. Like they have to specify for whatever the reason they feel that that's important. And I think it's interesting because you would essentially be putting your faith into this energy to assist your body in healing itself.
Well, I could say that about a T-bone steak too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like the salt line, like where's the line?
Yeah, so I think a lot of times in spiritual teachings, the masses take that and use it in ways to conceptualize their realities because they can't conceptualize the vast complexities of the universe and how actually the fabrics of reality are formed. So it's a lot easier to conceptualize something in the framework of Christianity.
Yeah, like I can see like not praying to like Krishna or something. Like I get that. Like
Yeah. No other gods before me.
yeah, like I understand
Right.
that. But like if I have a crystal and like I don't I mean, I don't personally believe that like the crystal has like a magical power to like heal me or something, but like I believe it's an energetic thing and I can have this energetic relationship with it essentially. So like if I have a quartz crystal and I like hold on to it while I meditate and like just visualize, I don't know, whatever it is, like going to the beach because I want to go to the beach this summer, let's say. Like I almost see that as like a tool to like enhance my mindset essentially. Cuz like now I'm thinking about the beach. Now I'm like in that energy of like then taking the steps to get me to the beach this summer. So I know a lot of like Christian people are against stuff like that, like crystals and stuff.
Well, a lot of them are against even thinking
I guess
like that.
manifesting is bad too, yeah. But yeah, so like I'm like, okay, I get you're not praying to like any other gods or believing in those or whatever. But where's the other line is what is interesting for me to see what people say.
Yeah, I think it comes down to faith in like it's salvation. So my salvation is through Jesus Christ, and that's it. Not a crystal, not a meditation, not some other practice, not witchcraft, not pulling cards, tarot cards, or whatever. My salvation and what my future is based off of is because of what Jesus did.
Sure, but I also don't see the problem with pulling a card here and there.
Yeah, so again, it comes back to like what I guess what you're attaching to that thing. So I said earlier about putting faith in that. So
Like
my
you can't put any faith at all. Like the other night I pulled a card for us. I was like, this is our card as a couple or whatever. And it basically like told us that we need to go spend time by water. And I was like, duh, we do. Like we need to go. But it's not like I'm like, oh, we're gonna like win a trip to the beach or anything, you know? I was just like, ooh, that was fun. I wanna do that.
yeah, you're not putting your faith in it.
No, I don't believe it's going to make something happen. I believe I have to make the thing happen.
Right. That's the difference.
I guess. I don't know.
Like it's the difference of like the physical and spiritual mental planes. Like there's different planes of reality, we could say, or different dimensions. And if I'm like the physical, like putting faith in a steak to heal me, like yeah, I could say that comfortably in a way that it makes scientific logical sense that I need protein to repair my body. So technically it would be healing me. So I don't know. There's like some weird technicalities
Yeah,
in
there's
that way,
lines.
depending how you think about things
Yeah.
and like how deep you're willing to take stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people in that world, they don't take things very deeply.
Which world?
The spiritual world. Like if you're practicing some type of religion or even like if you're a strict yogi or whatever, you're not like taking things super deep. You're not like, some people do, for sure. I mean, you'll have that in every walk of life. But generally overarching the masses, like if you think of the mass yoga culture, what do you think about?
I think about hot yoga, yoga with weights, shit like that.
Yeah.
Goat yoga, yoga and beer.
Yeah, people are just doing the movements.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm guilty of that as well.
Yeah, they're not practicing yoga. Yoga itself is like a very complicated thing.
Yeah, I mean, yoga itself isn't even, like, the movement is only a very small portion of it.
Yeah, it's like one branch of the tree.
Like, spiritually speaking.
Yeah, it's like a practice. It's a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Christianity and all these other religions. So when you're, doing that type of thing, you're kind of, that's like how you're viewing the world, which helps you conceptualize reality. So you're not able to like think about things in a deeper way, because it kind of like puts a veil over your eyes so that you see the material world. And that's why a lot of, I don't know, it's always been hard for me to say that miracles and stuff that don't happen, and like we don't see the things that we saw or that we read about in the Bible. That's why I think a lot of people misread the Bible, because they're reading the Bible in how they're viewing the world in today's world. So it's like a totally different way to perceive the texts from their own views rather than the views of the people that wrote the book. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's like even reading a book. If you read the Organon, Samuel Hahnemann's basically the homeopathic Bible, it's not like reading something that was written today,
No.
You're like, wait, I got to read this real slow a couple times to kind of grasp it.
Yeah.
So the evolution of time, even in the way that we speak, makes things more challenging to absorb, let alone a spiritual component of like an entirely different reality, essentially.
Yeah, over the course of time, the Bible has lost over 6,000 words.
Yeah. Where did they go? Why did they leave?
So it's a simplification process, eliminating words that don't need to be there. King James
says somebody.
Well, King James, I mean, I could say it one sentence one way and you could say it a different way.
Yeah.
You could use 5 words, I could use 11. They both mean the same thing. So why wouldn't we use a simpler version?
Yeah, but every time you have an interpretation, there is bias attached to the interpretation.
The Bible is very unbiased in how it's interpreted.
I don't know.
Based
how
off
do we know?
Because we have manuscripts.
Who determines which books are in it and which books got left out?
We have thousands and thousands and thousands of copies of manuscripts, and we recently found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they all lined up perfectly, like word for word of the same book of Isaiah, like nothing was changed. And that has been proved over and over again, like since we've been analyzing the Bible.
I just think we miss a lot of the story.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree that over time, as we start to simplify things and trim the fat, you're only left with the lean meat, but you're losing out on the fat.
Nobody wants to eat that.
Nobody wants to eat the fat, but the fat's really good for you.
Like that's like... Fat
has tons of energy and lots of calories.
Another problem I have with the whole thing is this is from my inner feminist speaking, is the
men.
The perspective of men versus women. Yeah, it's not very empowering to a modern woman.
Yeah, I agree.
So teaching little girls that, don't love it, but
I think there's some issues there.
That's my feminist liberal side.
Yeah,
it's peeking out.
I think there was some the hands of man were on that part.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, I don't like that either.
I think there are reasons for why certain things are said in that way, based off of how things were during their time.
I mean, it was very different. Even 75 years ago, it was very different here. But that doesn't mean that, like, I just don't like the idea of, like, us in the modern world consuming that as young girls, even boys, but especially girls.
When it comes to those sexist teachings, I think you have to view it in a more, is it allegory or analogy or something like that, where you're reading it as more of an archetype. So it's not a literal meaning, not literally as women cannot be heads of a church. I think the archetype of a woman shouldn't be the head of a church, because the archetype of a woman is too empathetic, or they have there's certain qualities of a woman that don't align well as a leader in a place like that.
Well, essentially, the feminine isn't really set up to lead an organization, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, you need masculine energy for that.
Right. So I think that's more of how that personally, that's how I interpret those things, as it's more of an energy. Like a woman could do it, but they have to be a strong, masculine, like, this is how things are. This is how we do things. And if you want to do it wrong, you can leave.
Yeah.
And
sign me up.
You have to be able to battle and have confrontation and set people straight and stuff like that. And usually that's not, women's way of doing things.
Especially, now I'm making a general statement, but especially women in the church, especially a good Christian woman.
Right.
Isn't typically the one that's doing that.
Very docile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think about that.
Cool. I saw House and Habit.
Uh-huh. She's
been reading A Course in Miracles.
I saw that on her story
recently. And so it put it in my head, which is always what happens on social media. You see something that maybe you used to be into or something. And I was like, oh, yeah, I have that book, of course, on the shelf. And a couple of weeks ago, somebody shared, there's this lady on Instagram or something that, like, this is what she does, is talks about A Course in Miracles. She kind of, like, breaks it down and deciphers it and stuff. And I saw that, and it, like, initially, like, planted the seed. And then I saw it on House and Habit, and I'm like, wow, it's, like, coming back into my space again, essentially. I haven't done anything, but I thought that was interesting. I was like, ooh, that's weird, because I haven't really been, I have definitely not been spiritually connected, other than just things that I receive that I can kind of speak out. But I've not been doing spiritual study, because I was into Kabbalah for, like, over a year. Like, loved it, still love it, but I don't know, like, over the past couple of weeks, like, I listened to, like, the podcast that I always listen to about it every week, and I've just been like, this doesn't hit the same. And then I get so disappointed, because, like, I loved it, and, like, I want to love it, but I'm just kind of like, whatever. But I haven't been in that great of a mood either, so that could contribute. But I was like, dang, so I kind of feel like I'm, like, shifting spiritually again into, like, consuming something different, which is kind of how it goes for me. Like, I'll be into Kabbalah for a year, and then I'll be like, all right, I need something else for this time of life or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be so set on, like, one thing. You can pull all of these informative teachings from a vast, what would you say?
Vast range of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, different
beliefs, perspectives,
religions or whatever, spiritual teachings.
Yeah.
And You can take what you like and leave the rest type of thing.
Here's the thing. Most of them, at the very core, are saying pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I think...
They're just saying them in different ways.
I've thought about that before, where I thought about the 3 H's. Can you think of that? Can you...
The 3 H's?
Yeah.
In regards to spirituality?
All spiritual teachings. All different practices, all religious things.
Heaven, hell, and something else.
No.
I don't know.
3 words that mean things. I can't think of the third one.
Oh, great.
But it was humility.
Never would have got that.
And honor were 2 big ones. So humility is like the number 1 thing that you can learn from spirituality. That you can't do it all by yourself. There's something out there that's bigger and greater than you are. And you are not the center of the universe. And that's very humbling. And you can take that into your everyday life and treat other people better based off of being humble and not putting yourself first all the time, not thinking about yourself all the time, thinking about other people more often, being more compassionate. So that's humility. And then honor is like your integrity, how you carry yourself in the world, what you do, things like that. What was the other one? Dang, I thought of 3.
Who came up, or you came up with this?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it randomly.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Humility, honor, and I don't know. Lost it. Didn't write it down, so it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I think those 2 themselves are very important things to have and to practice in your everyday life.
A lot of everything is just the same thing.
Yeah.
Wrapped up in a different box.
Definitely. A lot of different ways to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Be a good person, right? That's what everybody says. Just be a good person.
Yeah. Trust. Live in the moment.
It's bugging me now that I can't remember what I thought of.
It'll come to you when you least expect it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that took us off on a bit of a tangent there.
I don't even know how we got here.
Just talking about consciousness and stuff to get us started
your podcast.
with intuition and thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because I wanted to talk about fulfillment and just life in general, I guess, and how we do it. I don't know. And a question I asked you before about taking risk.
Yes.
Yeah. And I asked you, what was the biggest risk that you took that actually paid off?
I don't remember what I said. What did I say?
I thought you said yoga.
Going to New York?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I kind of on a whim. I'm actually working on a Substack post about it right now, but, well, not currently, but it's in process. On a whim, I signed up for yoga teacher training way back in 2013. It was in New York City. Never been to New York City before. Had no idea where I was going to stay. Looking back in my journals, I didn't know up until like 4 days before I was going, which is crazy. Had no idea. And it all just worked out.
So wait, you didn't know you were going?
I knew I was going, but I didn't know where I was staying.
Okay, yeah.
And then I got this like free situation.
Right.
And I had like my own bedroom, which is like crazy in New York. And it was like not big, but like big for New York. And so it all worked out. But anyway, so I did the yoga training and like met people that I still keep in contact with. And like it kind of just set me up on this yogic path for the past however long it has been. Years. 13 years, 14 years. So I would say that paid off because it set me up for a different perspective of teaching, but also practicing yoga than like your standard training. Because I've done other trainings after that. I did, 2 different ones. I have like 700 hours of yoga teacher training. Not including like smaller workshops and stuff, which is crazy to think about. But anyways, so that really set me up to it seeped into my life in a lot of different ways. And I'm not done with it yet. So I would say that would be the biggest one because I've taken a lot of risks and a lot of expensive risks. And honestly, none of them have paid off. That was probably, I mean, other than like extracurriculars, but like yoga teacher training in 2013 did not cost that much to do. And I stayed for free. So like other than like going to restaurants and traveling and stuff, like I didn't have a lot invested in that compared to like other things I've invested in that have really not been things that I have felt very fulfilled with or have pursued professionally, essentially. So I would say that, but even that answer is not like super exciting, you know? Like I don't have anything really to show for it, I guess you could say.
Well, I think relatively for you, that was like a huge risk. Small town girl, middle of nowhere, randomly wants to go to New York City by herself at, how old were you? 20? 21?
Yeah,
19?
No, I was 20. I was 20.
Yeah, like
Because I had my 21st
randomly,
birthday when I was there.
I'm going to go to New York City by myself and do this yoga teacher training.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty insane.
It changed me definitely as a person. And
like figuring out the subways, navigating all of that stuff by yourself.
Yeah, I was thrust into it.
That's wild. I would never.
Major culture shock.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Yeah.
Best time ever. So I would say that definitely was like the big one. Mm-hmm. But I mean, breaking up with my ex and getting with you was a pretty big risk too.
Right.
So I would say that's another one, but those two.
We'll see if that pays off soon.
I'm not sure yet. But yeah, like I want there to be like a different one, you know? Like I want there to be a fun and exciting one, but there's really not yet.
Right.
I still do it. I still put myself out there, take risks, but I mean, like one that hasn't worked out. I think it's important to share the ones that haven't worked out too, because lots of people probably have a similar experience.
All mine have not worked out. So
I
got plenty.
Last year, I signed up for homeopathy school, and it's $5,000 a year. Thankfully, I only pay year by year. It's supposed to be a 2-year thing. I paid the $5,000. Oh, it's over $5,000, but I paid the $5,000 last year.
And it sucked.
It's a shit show. Don't recommend this school. 0 out of 10. I'm going somewhere else in the fall.
Where you wanted to go originally.
Yeah, I should have just waited, but I'm impatient. I was like, I'd be done a year earlier. I'll just go here. Nope, should have waited. So, but I made a good friend. You know, I kind of got a good foundation under my feet for when I actually do start. But yeah, that was a $5,000 risk that really didn't give me much in return other than a lot of frustration and bad surprises that the school wasn't honest about. So.
Well, it wasn't horrible. I think there's a lot of things that we could say about the experience.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either.
I think just from a super, like a managerial standpoint.
From a business perspective, it was the feminine is definitely leading. We'll just put it there.
Yeah.
And there was favoritism happening. And yeah, it's just very feminine, lots of tears, lots of like personal
love
sharing,
you so much, sister. Yes,
lots
girl.
of just things that aren't my vibe. And I kept comparing it to Remedy, which is where I'm going in the fall. And I was like, I guarantee this isn't happening at Remedy. There's no way Remedy's doing this. Remedy wouldn't do that. Yeah. So I had a call with Remedy and I was like, do you guys do this? Does this happen? Is this happen? And they're like, no. And I was like, take my money.
Yeah.
So should have did that first. But I did. I took a risk. Didn't really work out for me.
An impulsive risk.
And that's just one of the many. What about you? Have you had any risks that have paid off?
Well, we could say that they have in ways that I've learned a lot. And yeah, that's pretty valuable.
I think for you, stepping away from your previous businesses and getting a job after we got married was a risk.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I think that paid off.
Did it?
I mean, kind of, because it led you on this journey.
Financially,
we are debt free, and we're where we're at financially.
Yeah. But we're only in the position that we are in now because of support from family.
Definitely.
So we wouldn't be able to be debt free if we didn't have the opportunities that we have based off of that.
For sure. Which I also think is a lot of people's story too.
Yeah, but that in itself, we made that decision consciously to suffer for 3 years and pay off as much as we possibly could in a time where we had basically zero living expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a sacrifice in itself.
Definitely.
Which was a risk on, our marriage and potential future opportunities or whatever, because we wanted to do the thing of getting debt free.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, I was just thinking about that concept of taking risks and how important it is in life to do that, but how scary it is at the same time. And it's such a dichotomy where you could be in a position of like golden handcuffs. I'm super comfortable where I'm at. Everything's like fine. It's not great or amazing, but it's not bad. I got everything that I need or whatever. And you're just kind of in that middle space. And I think, taking the risks obviously are uncomfortable. And with risk comes potential consequences, big ones. And that's scary. So you're going to avoid the fear. The fear of that, the fear of feeling afraid even, is enough to persuade people to not take risks.
For sure. And I'm reading this book right now. It's called The Psychology of Money. And I'm like halfway through maybe, but he talks a lot about luck and like how we don't often acknowledge that luck plays a big role in people's success. And he gives the example of like Bill Gates went to this high school, like one of the only high schools in the US that like had a computer. And like then he went on to like do all this. He tells a story about how kind of like the luck was in Bill Gates's favor when it came to like computers and building.
It was his destiny.
And then he also talks about somebody else who didn't have that luck and like the outcome was very different. And he gives different examples of that happening. So it's like you could post on social media the same exact type of thing that I'm posting and you could go viral just through luck, and I could post for 6 years and never go viral.
Yeah.
Like we both put in the same amount of work, but there is a component of luck that is not often talked about or addressed. And I was like, I relate to that a lot. Because I have had that experience of like, I'm putting in the work, and then I see other people and they put in the work for like not even like less than half of the time that I put in the work, but they went viral and boom, then there's their career.
Yeah.
Like luck plays a huge role. You could call it destiny, fate, whatever, meant to be, but like it plays a big role. Which, if you are not very quote unquote lucky in your past with your risks, you're less likely to want to take risks.
Yeah.
In the present or the future. But the next risk could be the thing.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at right now in life. That's kind of why I was thinking about it. I'm very
risk adverse.
Yes. Because I've taken risks and I've a very tainted experience now.
Yeah, you've leapt and the net did not appear.
Well, it did appear for sure. But the entanglement of landing in the net really screwed me up.
Yeah.
I got some broken bones over it.
Yeah.
And I got stuck and I couldn't get out. And now I'm like free and I don't want to get back in a net again.
Yeah.
I have PTSD over nets.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take a leap again, it's got to be like a trampoline or something, or a parachute maybe.
Not the same type of net.
Yeah, different net. But I don't know that. I don't know what it would be.
Exactly. You don't know. That's why it's a risk.
Exactly. So
there could be no net. Who knows?
I am pretty much in a position now where I'm just too afraid to do anything because I don't want to risk it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what the point is because I think about all the things and I weigh out the logistics, money, and I'm like, is that worth it? I don't know if that's worth it.
And you're not going to know until you do it,
Yeah, but
that's why it's a risk.
Logistically, though, it makes sense why I would not do it.
Yes, but when you hear all of the success stories, they all say that too, but they did it and it worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
But you don't hear of the stories of all the people that did it and it didn't work out.
Right.
Because there's just as many of those, if not more.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what makes that a thing? Like, yeah, who are we going to talk about? I don't know. Like Andy Frisella is very successful.
Very.
He put in the time. He put in the work. He has that knack for business and the energy. He has it all. Like he's got it and he's earned it. He's worked for it.
Oh yeah. He's the scenario where he busted his balls for 20 years.
Tons of sacrifice.
And then he started to make money.
For sure. So, he took the risks over and over and over again. Probably made some bad decisions, but like he still made it through. There still has to be a component of luck there. In those times of something bad happens, oh God, this is the end, which always happens. Like that's not always happens, but there's always those type of circumstances. Like it's not like a straight line up to success once you kind of start going. He got an idea, somebody walked into his life, something happened online, like something happened to kind of like keep it going. Like there was like some type of universal support to keep it going.
He tells a story.
Does he?
Where he is ready to quit. And he had an interview or like a working interview thing where you show up and they like show you how to do stuff. Where he was going to be a carpet cleaner. So he like signed
I
up
think
to
I
have his
remember
own
this.
carpet cleaning, like independent contractor type of business thing. And he had like everything scheduled. He was going to sign the papers and sign the contract and go to this day. But he said he threw his back out and he like couldn't go to the thing. So he like had to recover. He couldn't walk or whatever. And he was like, I have to do it. Like I can't quit.
Yeah.
I have to make this work.
Continue.
Yeah. So he committed to it and now look at him.
Yeah, that's like divine intervention.
Yeah, it's like, dude, don't do it.
And so it's like you're in like that like time of like, I gotta get out of this. I'm gonna quit. And it's like, but what if the divine intervention comes?
Yeah.
But then you just keep waiting. Like, how long do you wait? You know, it's like, I don't know, there's a universal component involved.
Yeah, but at the same time, luck can also be where preparation meets opportunity. So you're doing the work and then opportunities knock on your door and you open them.
For sure.
And you're willing to do so.
Definitely.
Like, I think about myself, for example, where before, like, I'm in college, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I barely know who I am because I just tore my ACL. I couldn't play rugby for like a year. I think I'm going to be a gym teacher. I don't know what I'm doing. And my brother's like, hey, we're going to start a gym. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. And I was like distraught for months because I didn't know. I couldn't make a decision. It was insane to think about all of the things. Like, was I going to move to California and get a teaching job, move to Virginia and get a teaching job, or come back to my hometown and open a business? And it was like, I have no clue. And ultimately, I don't even know why I made the decision that I made, but I wasn't thinking about money at all. Because if I was thinking about money, I don't know. I think that would have altered my way of thinking.
Yeah.
And like for both scenarios.
Definitely.
Because moving to California to be a teacher, am I going to make enough money to live? How am I going to do that?
People do it. I don't know.
Right out of college, I mean, to take another loan out, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't think about money at all. Money was not on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, what's going to make me happier? What's going to fulfill me? And I think that was a very important process in my mind that helped me make the decision. And now I'm in the position where all I'm thinking about is money.
Yeah.
And I'm like analyzing everything and trying to make the best decisions. And, well, what about this? And I think about that. And, well, I could do this. Well, what if someday this happens? And I have this, what do you call those boards where there's strings everywhere? Like a cobweb.
Yeah. I
Whatever.
don't remember what they're called either, but yeah.
I don't know. Brainstorming session of like, I got all these things that I could possibly do with my life and I do none of them. And I'm just sitting around not taking any risks because I'm afraid. And ultimately, I don't think that it's worth it. I don't think that taking the risk or spending the time would be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I also have a million things that I could do, but I start down the path and then I'm like, no.
And then you're like, well, I want to do this instead.
I don't want to do that. I know what I want to do, but it's not attached to something that immediately can make me money. And so then I start down another path. I'm like, oh, well, I'll just do this because I could start making money from this like tomorrow, today. But then I start down that path and I'm like, I can't. Which takes us back to the beginning of the conversation where we were talking about intuition and like being like a person who like has a hard time existing in the material world. Like I struggle. Like I know everybody does with working unfulfilling jobs and whatever, but like it will suck my soul out immediately and like take me for a long time to get it back.
You would be somebody that I don't want to be with.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I know what I want to do. I know what I need to do. But like I said, it's like a long commitment until there is a financial return, potentially. Who knows? You know? So that's a grand dilemma.
It's funny because that dilemma of money and happiness.
Yeah.
Because money doesn't bring you fulfillment. It doesn't. Like
it does buy happiness.
It can solve problems.
Which makes you happy.
Which unburdens your life, which can definitely make you happier.
I cannot think of a single problem that I have. Well, I can think of one. I can think of only one problem in my life right now that cannot be solved by money.
Right. I forget who was talking about that.
Casey.
Yeah. Casey, what's his last name?
Neistat. YouTube.
He was talking about how people say money doesn't buy happiness, but those are the people that have never been poor.
Yeah, they're the people that didn't have have never not had money.
Right.
Because they're like, if all of your basic needs are met and you're like doing okay, yeah, money probably isn't buying you happiness. Like money doesn't exist in a diamond bracelet. Or happiness doesn't exist in a diamond bracelet. Like maybe for a short period of time, but overall, you're going to gain a lot more happiness from money when it can put you into a house that you can put your things into and live there.
Mm.
Money can buy happiness.
Yeah.
You can pay off your student loans and not have bills and not have to work overtime, work 3 jobs so that you can pay. You can go to the vet and afford to like get your dog care. You can go to the doctor. You can afford to get therapy. You can afford these things. Money buys happiness.
It's definitely extremely, extremely important in life. And that's like the dichotomy of what we were talking about. We have to pay bills. We have to do the things that require finances. But at the same time, we also want to do things that fulfill our soul, that make us feel good.
Make it feel like life is worth living.
Yeah. And sometimes making money is a sacrifice on your fulfillment. And other times it's not. Other times, the more money you get, the happier you are. Or some people, they make tons and tons of money, like millions and trillions or billions or whatever it is. They have lots and lots of money, and they're still unfulfilled, they're unhappy, they're depressed. They're like the worst types of people. And that's because they're not doing anything that's actually fulfilling their souls.
Yeah, you need both. Money buys happiness when it comes to basic necessities and being able to take care of yourself and people around you.
Mm-hmm.
But money doesn't buy happiness, like I said, with the materialistic things. If I buy a new Porsche, like that's going to be fun and exciting and cool, but like that's not going to bring me the same level of happiness as having my basic needs taken care of.
Right.
So it buys happiness, but it doesn't. But it definitely does.
Yeah, it's important.
But there's a cost, like you said, because it's like I've been here floundering around stressing about money for basically our entire relationship. But I mean, there were a couple over the past year or so I really wasn't, because we were like in a good space. But then you quit that job and now you have a new job and we don't have as good of health insurance and different things like that. So now I'm back to stressing about money. Plus all of the money that we're putting into Lily and all of her care and stuff. So like stressing about money, which then completely snuffs out my creative light. Like I need the security financially to be able to be completely fulfilled creatively. Like if I don't have those financial needs met, the creativity isn't flowing like it needs to be for me to be like a truly happy person.
Mm-hmm.
So the past couple of days I've just been trying to pretend that the financial needs feel good. So we'll see how long I can keep that up.
Yeah, that was a big bonus. Free healthcare.
Free healthcare was amazing.
That's a lot of money.
I know, especially because
so much money.
We didn't have insurance for a while. I had to quit therapy. And it was like the worst time to have to quit therapy. And I feel like I need therapy this year. I have needed therapy more than I have ever needed therapy.
Yeah.
In my entire life. And I'm not able to do it because it's so the insurance basically pays nothing. And so it's so expensive that it's kind of like, well, what's the point of doing like a one-off appointment? Like I have one scheduled and I need to delete it, but I keep putting it off. But I do need to cancel it because I'm just like, what's the point? And then I'm going to have more financial stress because I'm paying so much money for this like therapy appointment. So money buys happiness. Money buys therapy.
Money buys therapy.
Which I definitely need. Yeah, it was so interesting. Like my last appointment was like, I think like 4 days after we found out that Lily has DM. I was like, this is not good. This is very bad that I cannot keep coming here. Very bad. And it's only continued to get worse. So.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
But bringing it back to luck, another component and aspect of luck is when you want the thing to work out and it doesn't work out. And you don't know at the moment that you're actually like getting lucky, but you are.
That it doesn't work out is lucky?
Yeah, like think about when we were house hunting.
Oh.
And we tried so hard to buy houses.
Yeah, we were in it.
And it just was not working out. It just wasn't working. We would put offers in, wouldn't work out. And we're like, what the heck? We're so unlucky. And now, present day, we're like,
so thankful.
Thank God. That was like the luckiest that we could get.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
So that can also happen, you know, business-wise, risk-wise, all of those. Like, I think, personally, for bringing back to homeopathy school, I think me going to the specific homeopathy school that I'm going to be going to, Remedy, this fall, is a lucky thing that my current school isn't working out, because Remedy is creating such a name for themselves in the homeopathic space. And
huge.
They are just like exploding and doing such amazing things. And like to be able to have that behind me and have that education and to claim that as my schooling, I think will really help.
Very credible.
So all of the frustration that I have been through with my present school is actually lucky because it's pushing me out of that school and into what I believe is a better school.
Definitely.
So that's another lucky but not lucky example.
Yeah. Lots of different ways to think about how things happen to us.
For sure. Like it's hard to see them in the moment though, which that's like the challenge. Like even for me, like with my previous shepherd, like it was lucky for me to have been able to be with her when she died, because I was supposed to be at a hockey game that night. So I wasn't even going to be home, and I was home because it was canceled because it was the first week of COVID. So, like, all of these things kind of lined up for me to be in that circumstance where, like, in a parallel universe where COVID didn't exist, I wouldn't have been home, and then, like, it would be like that would have been, who knows what would have happened, but possibly even more traumatic than it already was. So in a way, I was lucky in that moment too.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that or feel that at the moment, just like I didn't see that or feel that with the house hunting or like the frustration with my current homeopathy school.
It's got to come full circle.
In those moments, I was like, oh my God, I want to punch walls. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Another thing that you recently mentioned was something that's very trendy now and it's happening across the social medias is the romanticization of staying home and being home all the time. And I think, again, for you, that's something that kind of keeps you comfortable and you like it. It's good. But I think you were alluding to it being kind of a struggle.
I mean, I like it and it's good, but it's also not good. So I started working from home officially at the beginning of 2020, but in 2019, at the end of 2019, I was in transition of jobs. So I haven't worked in person since 2019, summer of 2019.
Dang.
I know. So I don't know if I can ever go back, especially to work for somebody else. That would be traumatic. Has to be the right thing, or I would have a very hard time. But, COVID happened, and then everybody's working from home for a period of time, mostly. And then that kind of stayed for a lot of people. And a lot of people talk about how great working from home is. And I totally agree. You can do your laundry. You can eat lunch. You can work outside. Well, I could work outside. I could work in the bathtub. I could do whatever I want. I could work at Starbucks, whatever. So, like, the freedom and flexibility that it gave me, amazing, love. But there's something about getting dressed, leaving the house every day, interacting with other people, even if it's like a very basic like type of thing, like talking to
go to the coffee shop.
Yeah, like whatever it is. There's something about that you don't realize is missing until you aren't in it for years and years, and then you kind of step back into that space.
I
and
can
you're
speak
like,
to that.
Oh, that's really interesting. So there's something to all of that. And when you don't leave the house ever, you're missing out on that. And I think it does something to your mind that is not good. But you don't realize it because you're also very comfortable in this current way of living. I just watched a thing on TikTok where this lady's like growing her TikTok and she has, I don't know, 30,000 followers or something. And she said something about how everybody says that they want to hang out with her because she's so outgoing and like fun and whatever. And she's like, I am not like this in real life. Like, I don't leave my house. She never goes grocery shopping. She Instacarts everything. Like, she has a lot of anxiety about like leaving the house and like going out into the world now.
Yeah, probably because she's afraid that someone's going to recognize her.
Well, I think it's just in general, because I don't think anybody's going to well, they might, but I don't think, not because I'm famous, but because I live in a small town. But like, I don't think that is the issue. I think it's just like being in public is like an issue for people now.
Yeah.
But there's something about that like kind of waters us as humans.
For sure. We're social creatures.
We greatly dismiss, and online it's like the cool and trendy thing to like stay at home and like be antisocial and like just like live in your space.
Yeah.
And people get caught up in that and they like are validated by that belief.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it because I feel the same way, but leaving the house it helps.
Yeah.
Feel better.
So for me, I have a personal experience with that. I had my own gym. So as soon as I graduated college, had my own gym that I could work out in whenever I wanted. It was always there. I worked there 24/7 pretty much. And the gym was always my sanctuary. That's what I called it. I could go to the gym and it was just me and the weights, or me and my buddies listening to music, goofing off, just doing whatever we wanted to do, having a good time. And I loved it. Loved the gym. And I pretty much lost that because I created it into my livelihood. Now I'm working in the gym. It is my gym. This is my space. So you have like this greater sense of responsibility about all of the things, and well, I'm in charge here.
And
like,
attachment.
And I'm working out here at the same time. And what if somebody talks to me during my workout? And like, when do I work out? And can I do it now? Well, these people are here. Should I do it then? It's like totally changes your experience. So I didn't have a classic gym experience where I could go to a gym and work out in a public sector since 2018. What's that? 8 years?
You're about the same as me with working from home.
Yeah. So 8 years of my life, I worked out during that 8 years consistently, multiple times a week, doing all the things, but I did not have a traditional public gym membership routine type of stuff until like maybe a couple months ago.
Last month.
Was it last month?
I remember your credit card statement, yeah.
Okay. So about a month that I've had this morning routine where I get up, get ready, go to the gym, work out. There's people there that I've met. I know their names. We talk. We work out together. We're in the same space frequently. And, I get changed. Then I get ready. I go to work. There's a coffee shop across the street. Stop in there once or twice a week, depending on how I feel, to get a double shot of espresso because it's amazing. And it's like an amazing routine. Like, I absolutely love it, and I missed it so much. I had no clue that I missed it. Like, I had no clue. I pretty much forgot how important that was to me.
Yeah, that's what happens. You forget.
Yeah. And I tried working out at home. Tried it. And I never, ever, ever was that type of person. And I knew I wasn't that type of person. But I wanted to do it, wanted to save money, didn't want to have to do the thing, leaving the house, save time, blah, blah, blah. Conveniences, I can do it at home, I can do it whenever. Well, guess what? I just wasn't doing it. And if I was doing it, I was doing it super half-assed, barely doing anything, just moving blood. And that's not good enough for me. So this experience, this routine, this new morning routine, working out, doing the thing, it has been absolutely amazing. Like, I feel so good about myself and my accomplishments, and just like sticking to the routine and just like having that time to myself. That's the most important part. Is I'm in my sanctuary, taking care of myself, doing the one thing that I've loved forever, more than half my life at this point, and doing it however I want to do it. And I love it. And It's so good. And it's definitely improved my mental state, how I feel about myself. Because like for a while I was like, anytime I saw myself in the mirror, I'm like, small. Look small. Puny arms, skinny. Look at me, I'm losing weight, 10 pounds down, blah, blah, blah. You know? But now I feel pretty good.
Good.
So, but yeah, I can see how it's easy to forget. I mean, that's why it's the old adage of like, you getting out of your routine. It's hard to restart your routine. Once you stop your routine, it's really hard to pick it back up.
For sure. Yeah, like you get into these layers of comfort and you think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. I had a friend who listens to the podcast, shout out. I could go to her place and work out. She has a great gym. But it wasn't like the public sector. It was her house pretty much, you know? So it wasn't the same experience. I could go there, work out, basically do whatever I wanted, you know, by myself. Just still good. It's definitely still really good. But it's a different thing.
Yeah, see, I have no desire to go to the public gym.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Been there, done that, and I'm like, no. The yoga class, I would go, but it has to be the right one, and that's not, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just my world. I don't know. Yeah. It's a world that I like, and it's important to me.
I think it's important to find those worlds.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those worlds that I am interested in don't exist in the way that I want them to locally. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, I'll just stay home.
Yeah. Or it costs too much.
Yeah, that too.
Back to the money thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, well, I don't want to, spend X amount of money on that thing when I could just do it at home.
Right.
So, money buys happiness.
Yeah. But.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that was good talk. Hopefully it was helpful. I think that these subjects they have a lot of stigmatism, or what did I say? Stigmatism. What am I trying to say?
They
Stigma.
Can't see. Yeah. They need glasses.
There's a lot of stigma attached to these types of conversations because of hustle culture and, successful people, not successful people, being poor, not having money, having too much money, whatever. There's so much involved in it that it's kind of hard to talk about, I guess. But
you know what I love? When somebody's advice is not the typical advice. Or their story is not like the typical story. Like I listened to this writer's story today and she was like, yeah, I self-published books for X amount of time. And then like I self-published this one randomly and in 2 weeks, because she had an agent, and then in like 2 days she had a publisher. And then in a month, she had an offer for a movie adaptation. And like it just kind of like all happened. And she's like, yeah, I don't like plot my books. I just write them and see what happens. And like, it was just very much not the standard experience or advice. And she, had like a career, like a very prominent career, but she was just like writing for funsies kind of. And like, so like, I love that because I'm like, okay, that's not like, you have to do this and you have to do that. And then this is gonna like, it's just different.
Yeah, that's your slogan.
Because you never know like what could be the thing. Mm-hmm. Like if I listen to people who are like, you have to plot your book from A to Z, and I try and I'm like, I can't do this. Yeah. That completely changes your experience. So.
Gotta do things your own way.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the advice is cool and inspiring, but it's also usually just based on somebody's perspective and experience. Mm-hmm. So you can take it and maybe it will work, but you can also take it and maybe it won't, especially with health.
Yeah.
It's like, eat your body weight in protein. maybe that might be a good idea, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, there's some big blanket statements, but I think
yeah.
You said something there that made me think about how I'm thinking. What was it? Lost it now because I started thinking about protein. What did you say?
Somebody's experience isn't necessarily your experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think ultimately we have to figure out our own way. And I think that's why I'm very hesitant to do anything as well. Like, on top of being afraid of taking a risk, I'm also not interested in doing something that's not my own way. I want to have my own freedom to do how I want to do it. And if I can't do it how I want to do it, then I don't want to do it at all. And I think that's something that I learned from my past experiences is like, I want to do it my own way. Like you said.
You don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, like I could be a personal trainer tomorrow. Like I could go talk to the lady, be like, "Hey, I'm ready. Like let's do this thing." And I'll have clients. Like I know that would happen. But I'm going to make $20 an hour.
Which is ridiculous.
Just pretty dumb. Like
Definitely.
why would I spend an hour of my life to train somebody that's probably doesn't care,
Yeah, $20 an hour for personal one-on-one training or even a group training is crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a certain way that I want to do it, and I don't have that opportunity at the moment. So that's also in there. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We'll see what luck pushes our way.
Yeah.
We need some at some point, please. I'm begging. Literally.
Help.
Literally. Every day.
But yeah. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful or thought-provoking or maybe makes you think about your life and being too comfortable and not taking risks.
What the greatest risk you have taken and has worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
anything else?
That's it.
I am where I am down below. You can check those things out. Leave us a rating and review. Share the show with somebody that you know who would benefit from listening. And with that, we will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.